Sid and Friends in the morning. 77 WABC.
Let me get to Judge Jeanine Pirro, who is the star of the five. As far as I'm concerned, the most talented person at Fox News, and does a great show here Sunday mornings. I was a guest on her show.
Hey, Stella.
No.
Come here.
It's not true?
Hello?
Is that not true? Is that, what am I saying, not true? Are you there?
Red. Who, me?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, Jeanine. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I thought you were saying stop when I was introducing you, so.
No, I'm telling my dogs to stop.
Oh.
The guy's coming through the gate.
Because I'm saying how great you are. You're going, stop. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Next time I'll say how great Greg Gutfeld is instead, okay? I'm sorry.
That's fine. Everybody's great. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
The guy's coming through the gate, and I have these electric collars on my dogs.
Yeah.
The dogs are giving me the middle finger. They could care less. They're willing to take the shock to get away from me. Red. Okay, I'm not going to say anything else, okay? Because I'm going to yell in a minute. Red! Okay. There's Red and Ted. They're brothers. They're from Tennessee.
Yeah.
They're from COVID. They didn't want them in Tennessee, so they called me and they said, Jeanine, you take rescues? I said, yes. So I have Red, get in here. All right, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. What do you want to talk about this morning?
You are funny. Here's what I want to talk about. My phone Sunday was blowing up. Because I didn't promote the fact I was going on with you, and people were so pleasantly surprised. And they go, whether it's Jeanine with you on a Wednesday or you with Jeanine on a Sunday, man, you guys are good together.
Oh, we have great chemistry. I love it. I absolutely love being on with you because I always start very calmly. But the truth is you got me fired up within 3 minutes. And, I always say I'm going to calm down because my excitement point is at 5 o'clock. But other than that, I love having you on, Sid. Look, we believe in the same things. We love this country. We believe in truth and justice. We hate people who lie to us. We hate politicians in general. We fight for what we want.
Yeah.
And, someone said to me the other day, they said, Fernando Marteo mentioned your name. And I said, you know what? I love Fernando. Years ago, we were like stomping and yelling and trying to make a difference. For me, it was domestic violence and it was battered women and abused children and fighting for making sure the law was enforced, pedophiles going after them. And Fernando was doing his thing. I mean, it was great. We make a difference. And I'm not patting myself on the back, but unless you get exercised about what you're doing, I mean, why bother doing it at all?
100%. And you should pat yourself on the back because when I watch you on TV or listen to you on this station, that's what I get. And you fire me up too. So I think about you quite a bit. That's creepy, I know. But I do think about you. Like you talk about liars. Here's Obama, Barack Obama, and he's eloquent and he looks great. He's up there talking nice about Biden when he forced Biden out. Then you got Harris. Harris had that staged, choreographed phone call with the Obamas about 2 weeks ago. After they waited a month, she left. Yep. She went to Wisconsin. Biden, the night before, he does his speech and goes out to California. They're talking about unity at this convention. This is the least unified convention I've ever seen, ever.
Well, most of them can't stand each other. And you know what? You haven't even mentioned Nancy Pelosi yet. I mean, these people talk about passing the torch. They torched Joe Biden. They're so concerned about democracy, they throw the guy out over the cliff. Remember those ads they used to do about the old person in a wheelchair? Well, they're the ones who did it to Joe Biden, and they're like, Joe, take a vacation. We don't need you. Who's running the country now? She's campaigning. He's on vacation. He gave a speech. He had to take a week off. But in the end, here's the thing that I'm concerned about, Sid. Everybody likes, the image of a woman and she's smiling and she seems so nice. They forget that for the last 3.5 years, she was the laughing stock of this country and the world. She had the lowest approval rating of any vice president since they started keeping numbers. And she earned that low approval rating. And all of a sudden, it's like a magical, Disney movie or something like, oh, she really is the princess. And, I want a woman president. I think that most women would like to see one. But she's not the one.
Yeah.
This is a woman who morphs from a prosecutor And forget, she was a progressive prosecutor. She was never the real deal in terms of going after criminals the way, prosecutors do with a vengeance. She just did it to get through the job. She was a progressive prosecutor before we even knew what that meant. And now, she's someone who's interested in criminals being bailed out of jail. And she is the person responsible, as far as I'm concerned, for all the illegals who are coming through the border and are committing crimes.
Yep.
Just yesterday, it was another rape, a 10-year-old boy this time in Mississippi, raped by an illegal immigrant. Now, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, Sid, how many of these cases do you remember? And most people don't even report sex crimes.
That's true.
Okay?
Yeah.
But we've got 12 and 13-year-olds and 15-year-olds who are being molested, raped, murdered, choked, threatened at knife point. You don't hear one word from her.
But that's why, forget about the politicians. You just described her perfectly, okay? The politicians are bad. They're all bad. Schumer, Pelosi, her, they're all bad. The most dangerous and the most evil people in this country are not the politicians. They're not. They're the media. So when you're on at 5 o'clock every day, and you're doing a great job there, you, Jesse, Greg, Dana, all the fantastic, okay? And you're providing the truth and smart opinions. What the media has created, this creation you're talking about, was done by the media. These morons at the convention watching on TV, they're going to vote for her. They do that because they watch television. They've created this. They're the same people that just a year ago said, he's got to get away from her. The media are domestic terrorists. They're the most dangerous group in this country. Worse than politicians, worse than criminals is the liberal media. I really believe that.
Well, you should absolutely take credit for that statement, because they turned a loser vice president into what they believe is the next president of the United States by not demanding an interview, by not talking about her record, by talking about her as though she is, Jesus incarnate at this point, that she's come back and she's going to lead us into the next, into hope and joy. And we're so joyful with her. In the end, what you've got is the mainstream media taking no responsibility or no interest for the news and the debacle, whether she was the last person in the room for Afghanistan or the border that she just dropped like a hot potato, or the fact that, she cannot empathize with people, 2/3 of whom live paycheck to paycheck in this country. 2/3. She can't deal and doesn't talk about all the dangers that exist in this country with 100 terrorists who've come through the border. I mean, Biden gets up there, he lies about the Fine People hoax, that he opened up the schools when he kept them closed for the unions. He praised the Palestinian protesters, and he will not condemn anti-Semitism.
No.
And then he says Trump promised a bloodbath. I mean, these people hate Donald Trump. And they hate him so much that they don't care what they put in his place. And they'll put in a woman and make her sound like, the Virgin Mary, who just, as far from that, who just showed up and made a decision that she's going to save America.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's not going to happen.
No, they actually hate Donald Trump more than they love this country. So in the final couple of minutes with the great judge, Jeanine Pirro, Trump is out there. He's campaigning. I told you this last week, and I mean it. I didn't love J.D. Vance, the choice initially. But the more I watch this guy, even this morning he was on Fox and Friends, but I watch him a lot lately. He was on with, Laura Waters, somebody 2 nights ago. Guy's great. I love him. So what do you think of what Trump is doing now? Because in the next 2 days, when this is over and all this beauty wears off, Chuck Schumer dancing, the crappy Jew husband saying she's filled with empathy, when all that wears off, it's going to be a real battle. How do you think Trump has done this week while this nonsense is going on in Chicago?
Okay, that's a great question. I'll tell you why. Because Trump is doing exactly what the public wants him to do. He's talking policy. He's talking numbers. He's talking statistics. He was in, I don't know where he was yesterday, somewhere in the Rust Belt.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, okay. And the truth is, he did everything people wanted him to do. He didn't call anybody names. And you know what? It was low energy to me. It was low energy.
Yeah.
People want Donald Trump the fighter.
Trump beat Trump.
You know what? That's what I want.
Me too.
Okay? Don't take down the energy because that's what they tell you, is going to work. Stop calling people names. But you know what? There's no problem with identifying who is the cause of this, who is responsible for this, who could change this right now, whose ideas are so warped and so inappropriate. On day one, I'm going to secure the border. Are you kidding me? How dumb are the American people that they're going to buy this stuff? How dumb and how low information are we that we're just going to let the great Barack Obama and Michelle Obama come out and say, we've got hope again? Bullshit. It's not hope. This isn't hope. This is socialism. Yep. Let's make sure that every illegal in this country has Medicare and has health care. And at the end of this, we're not going to have any left for ourselves. And I say it every week, and I apologize for it. My mother, to her dying day, 91 years old, for her copay on her deathbed, she was worried about making sure, Jeanine, did we pay for this? Did we pay for this health care? Mm-hmm. And these illegals come in unvetted. We don't know who they are, what their interest is. And we want to give them health care. We want to give them driver's licenses. We want to take down the Social Security safety net in this country for people we don't even know. This is ridiculous. This is terrible. And Americans are working 2 and 3 jobs, and then they're going to come in. We're going to give you a home. I'll tell you, we're going to have the mortgage crisis we had in 2008 all over again, because we're going to give people homes who can't afford a mortgage, who don't have the ability or the credit to be able to afford it, because it's a nice idea and we think we should do it. This is just, their joy is a real pain. If Biden, he lies, he yells, he shouts, she giggles, she speaks, and I can't wait to hear from the bozo tonight. Walls, he's a real bozo. He's a coach. Yeah, let's put those tampons in those little kids' bathrooms, in the boys' bathrooms. Let's put them in there. I'm going to pay for it. I'll make sure that every boy has a tampon.
You are great. Listen, you are ready for 5 o'clock right now. I wish you could just drive there right now and do it. Amazing appearance. I love you. This is one of your all-time best. I love you, Jeanine. Thank you so much. That was great.
Sorry about the dogs earlier.
Okay, that was great. I love you. Judge Jeanine Pirro. She's the best, the absolute best. 5 o'clock every weekday afternoon on Fox News, 11 a.m. every Sunday morning on WABC.